two tenants have been accused of committing antisocial behavior by a gang of residents. However, the tenants argue it is they who have been the victims of antisocial behavior, and not the other way around. These pictures seem to support their side of the story. They show one of the other residents approaching the tenants and threatening them with an offensive weapon, a screwdriver. This is a criminal offence and was immediately reported to the police. It was also reported to West Mercia Homes. However, email communications between West Mercia Homes and the police seem to reveal a distinct lack of impartiality regarding the situation. They also reveal a reluctance to take any action. The housing officer is keen to suggest to the police that the tenants are lying about the incident. The police are keen to dismiss the incident because they say they have more important things to do. Due to a lack of action from both West Mercia Homes and the police, even after viewing the pictures, the situation on the estate worsens, and there is a threat of extreme violence. The man with the screwdriver did not even receive a verbal warning. The police dismiss the situation on the estate as low-level antisocial behavior. They tell West Mercia Homes to take the matter to the civil courts, where the standards of proof are lower. The police also suggest that the tenants should be evicted and that they would be happy to help. Finally, the police reconfirm that no action will be taken regarding the man with the screwdriver. The tenants were extremely upset by the lack of action from both West Mercia Homes and the police, especially after seeing a TV documentary about David Curran, who, in 2008, murdered two Polish nationals with a screwdriver. The tenants try to work with both West Mercia Homes and the police to resolve the situation on the estate. The tenants say they would be willing to relocate if West Mercia Homes could arrange this. West Mercia Homes are not keen on this idea. They think it would be too difficult, even though the housing group has a portfolio of more than 30,000 properties. The tenants then say they would be willing to participate in mediation if West Mercia Homes could arrange that. West Mercia Homes are not keen on this idea either. They think it would be too expensive, even though the housing group has an annual turnover in excess of £140 million. Meanwhile, the situation on the estate continues to deteriorate. Under pressure and out of ideas, West Mercia Homes decide to follow the initial advice from the police. They take the tenants, who are actually claiming to be the victims of antisocial behavior, to court to be served with a civil injunction under the Anti-Social Behaviour Crime and Policing Act 2014, with powers of arrest and the possibility of mandatory eviction. And, to rub salt into the wound, they decide to use the man with the screwdriver as a witness in court. Most of the allegations against the tenants are trivial with absolutely no real evidence to support them. But in a civil court, clear and convincing evidence is not required. Hearsay evidence is entirely admissible. Allegations and the people who made them are the only requirements for a civil court. That is why the police advised West Mercia Homes to take the tenants to a civil court in the first place, because they could find no proof that the tenants had committed any wrongdoing. Some of the allegations made against the tenants are quite bizarre. They include calling someone a lying grasser in a shop. How is that a housing matter? Staring at someone in an aggressive way. How is this possible? And laughing at someone in an intimidating manner. Some of the conditions in the injunction are also quite bizarre, especially since the tenants have no criminal history, and no history of antisocial behavior. The police have described the tenants as being squeaky clean, and yet the injunction prohibits them from using violence, and threatening the use of violence. None of the allegations mention any violence, so why is this included in the injunction? Harassing, alarming and causing distress, including any form of racial abuse. None of the allegations mention any racial abuse, so why is that included in the injunction? Using, possessing and selling illegal substances. The tenants do not misuse drugs, and have no history of misusing drugs. They even offered to participate in drug testing and to have their property searched. So why is the misuse of drugs included in the injunction? Causing noise capable of being heard outside the property. This would restrict the tenants when engaging in perfectly normal activities inside their own home, like watching TV, listening to radio, playing games, using telephones, and so on. Engaging in conduct causing and capable of causing nuisance and annoyance, including drunken and disorderly behavior, and mocking any person. This would restrict the tenants when engaging in perfectly lawful activities which are all conducive to human well-being, like laughing, joking, celebrating, and so on. This injunction is draconian in nature and is enough to make any law-abiding citizen want to move to North Korea. The tenants are astonished by West Mercia Homes' decision to take them to court, especially since they have an ongoing complaint regarding antisocial behavior which West Mercia Homes have yet to resolve. The tenants have been complaining to West Mercia Homes about being the victims of antisocial behavior for more than 3 years. They also have witnesses and evidence to support their side of the story. West Mercia Homes have even seen this evidence and spoken to those witnesses. Also, the decision to resort to legal action seems hasty and hurried. The first allegation against the tenants is said to have occurred in May 2016. Yet, just 1 month later, the housing officer was already asking the local policing team for information to be used in legal proceedings against the tenants. Furthermore, in November 2016, West Mercia Homes took the tenants to court for rent arrears. Any issues with antisocial behavior should have been mentioned during these proceedings, but West Mercia Homes did not do this. Instead, they decided to initiate separate proceedings just 1 month later. What was the motivation for doing this just weeks before Christmas? It was oppressive and totally unnecessary. Despite the malicious timing of the legal proceedings, the tenants still managed to find good legal representation. The tenants also qualify for legal aid because it is a housing matter and West Mercia Homes are a registered social housing provider. Also, the consequences of a negative outcome are very serious. They include both the possibility of imprisonment and eviction. The tenants' legal representatives try to reason with West Mercia Homes. However, despite the submission of further evidence in support of their case, including medical evidence that one of the tenants has a serious illness, West Mercia Homes insist on continuing with the legal proceedings. And, to reaffirm their arrogance, they send the tenants a legal bill amounting to nearly £5,000. The final hearing is in February 2017. In the end, West Mercia Homes are unsuccessful in their application for the injunction against the tenants. The court makes 2 recommendations to West Mercia Homes: that they revisit the idea of relocating the tenants, and that, in the meantime, they should arrange mediation for the residents. Exactly the same ideas the tenants had suggested several months previously. Ultimately, the legal action initiated by West Mercia Homes was senseless and futile, and it cost the taxpayer a small fortune. The legal bill for the tenants amounted to nearly £20,000. This was paid for by legal aid. The legal bill for West Mercia Homes must have been even greater. They are a charitable, registered society, a tax-exempt charity, and are funded by the taxpayer.